And just like that, we're back in the shop. The shop is kind of dirty from different things. Working on Liberty, doing my fire experiments, which some are working, some ain't. Curious to see what all's flammable that we eat. So, anyways, I'm gonna clean the shop up, tidy it up just a little bit before I get started in here. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to get done, but hopefully I can at least get the brake booster swapped out and maybe start working on my air ride a little bit. My plan is to pull the transfer cases out in the morning, completely rebuild those again, all brand new seals and gaskets and everything brand new, and then throw those back in tomorrow. So maybe by tomorrow I'll be able to, I don't know, pull this thing forwards and backwards maybe, if I get lucky. I don't know. I'm not really feeling too lucky with this Liberty, but we'll see. So I'm gonna clean this mess up a little bit and then do some stuff. Stay tuned. All right, shop's a little bit cleaner. I went ahead and busted this out, swap that out real quick. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna have to bleed the brakes because they have to take master cylinder and stuff off. So I'll get that done when I get some help. I'll probably have my son or wife or somebody come by here and help me. But parts for the air suspension have not shown up yet. I'm waiting on some sensors and I'm waiting on some gauges. I'm gonna tie all this in, then all of the air ride into one electronic gauge so I can read all 5 pressures, the tank and each individual wheel. So I guess I'm gonna start ripping this transfer case out. I'm gonna start taking drive shafts and stuff out again. But yeah, so I put the booster in it because I could be wrong, but couldn't get any brake pedal. I was bleeding them and bleeding them and bleeding them, got all the air out several times. Wasn't getting any more air in, just kept bleeding them just in case. But as soon as I would start the rig, I would lose all brake pressure. Like it would just go to the floor every single time. But I would unplug the brake booster and I had brake pressure again. So I had a good firm brake pedal. So I think that's what the problem was. So I went ahead and bought a booster for it. I think I got one used for like 60 bucks or something. So if that's not the issue, I have a spare. So I'm really not out that much money. But what do you think? Do you think that could have been it? You think booster problem? I haven't tested it yet, so I don't know. But it's kind of what I thought it was. But anyways, that's done. I'm gonna rip these transfer cases out yet again. See if I can get them rebuilt. Make some gaskets and some seals. So, see you when they're out. I don't want to bore you with that again because I know y'all probably seen it 2 or 3 times on this channel. These dang transfer cases. But anyways, I'm going to get it fixed. I'll be right back. And good morning. We're back out in the shop. I got the transfer cases pulled out last night. Got them torn all the way down. And I put new seals in them. So, we got new seals here around the input shaft. Put some new gasket maker there. I've done the same thing back on this transfer case here. It's got the same setup. So I put a new seal in there, put some gasket maker on that, and then between the two right here, I made a gasket that goes between the case and the plate right here, the plate from Froehlich, because I was having trouble with the gasket maker. Then I made another gasket that goes between the plate and the adapter. So hopefully it doesn't leak. So far, I haven't seen any. So far, everything's good to go. But I'm gonna watch it for a couple hours, make sure that nothing's gonna come out, nothing's gonna leak anywhere. Then I'm gonna throw that thing back in there and hopefully be done with it. Get my shifters and everything buttoned up. As far as the air suspension, so I'm think I'm gonna show you what I got in mind as far as a gauge and everything for inside. Okay, so basically how this is gonna work is I'm gonna put this T-fitting with these quick connects for the 3/8 airline on each, kind of on each wheel, and then this gauge is gonna go right there. And it's going to attach to a wire, gonna plug in, and it's gonna come all the way up to inside the cab to this little digital gauge here. And it does have 5 or 6 ports right here in the back, so I'll be able to monitor each individual wheel and the tank. The tank's it has a gauge on it, but I can't see it from the cab, so everything's gonna be digital on this little gauge here up in the cab with me. I'm gonna mount it up somewhere where I can see it real good. So that's the plan there. So I'm gonna go ahead, while I'm waiting on the transfer cases, I'm gonna go ahead and start splicing these in where I need them, because all of my airlines are ran. I'm gonna go ahead and splice these in. I can't install the sensors yet because I am waiting on a bushing that goes, that adapts from 1/8 inch to 3/8, so I do have to wait on that to get here, but that'll be here tomorrow. But in the meantime, I can go ahead and get all this stuff put in, and when those bushings get here, I can just pop those in, pop these in, plug everything up, bubs are right, we're done. We got gauges. So, excited about that. And still gotta get my brakes bled. But once the transfer cases and all this other crap is done, I can drive it. Let's go. It's the next morning. I let these transfer cases sit overnight and they're still leaking. They're only leaking from one spot though, and it's a very, very small, minute, small leak. So I think I'm gonna run it for now. I've got other stuff on this Jeep I've got to get done. I can't keep taking these transfer cases apart. So I'm gonna call that a semi-win. I'm gonna run it for now. I want to get those put back in. Still waiting on some fittings for the air, but those should be arriving here anytime. So I do have some plans tonight, so I probably won't get these transfer cases put in this evening, but I am going to start working on the air ride and kind of tinkering with a few other things, see what I can get done. So, dive right in. I lost my multimeter. I have to find it. Boop, 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 boop. I went ahead and just took it back apart. So, I need to get the leak fixed. I'm not going to put it back in until it's fixed. So, but I think I got a solution. Find out I've made some new and improved gaskets to go in between everything, kind of sandwich it all together. Hopefully that works. Loctite the crap out of everything and put a little RTV to keep these in place, see what happens. But parts came in finally. Parts came in finally. Let's go see what came in, shall we? So I was talking about the sensors for the air suspension. That's it. I've already put them all together. I was waiting on this little bushing here. So this is going to go in line. Airline come here, airline come here, and this is going to go connected from a wire, and it's going to come and read up to the gauge. So I'll be able to monitor each individual wheel and the air that's in the tank. So I know that's probably redundant, but I want to know how much air pressure is in each bag, and that way I can also tell if there is a leak. So if it drops down 0 real fast, I know there's an issue. So I'm gonna work on figuring out where I want to put these. I don't want them in a place where they're going to get damaged or too hot and melt or something like that. So I'm gonna probably, the front ones are probably going to go in the engine bay somewhere, maybe kind of wrap it in some insulation or something like that. And the ones on the rear are going to go inside next to the fuel tank probably. Nice and simple install, hopefully. So I'm going to probably call it a night. Be back out here maybe tomorrow evening. Finish up. Got plans tonight, so we'll tinker around for just a few more minutes, and I got to go inside and get ready to go. So things are happening. I'm starting to feel pretty good about it. Now that I got some parts in, and maybe kind of figured out the transfer case leak. So boogie on. It's the next morning. Transfer cases are together with fluid in it again. They've had fluid in it for about an hour, so I'm going to check them here shortly to see if they're leaking. If they're not leaking, they're going back in finally. But I've been working on my air ride this morning, and I got my air gauges hooked up, and they are sweet. Let me show you. So each individual wheel has a sensor, air pressure sensor down in here. This is the sensor for the tank that goes to the gauge. This is going to be the switch for when the tank reaches a certain pressure, it's going to kick on. And it's going to stay on. Once it reaches that pressure, it's going to kick off. This here is an additional gauge, just a manual gauge for the tank. In case I'm back here working, I can see what kind of air pressure is in it. But going to the front, look at all that daggone wiring. And that all goes to this gauge right here. So you got tank pressure, left front, left rear, right rear. So I can monitor all of the pressures for the air ride. I'm pretty happy about that. Just got to find a place to mount it and how to run all the wires and all that junk. But making progress. This transfer case hopefully is going to go back in a minute. Actually, let's check to see if it's leaking, because I don't want to check it. I haven't checked it yet. God's honest truth, I have not checked it yet. So I'm going to flip you around, and you can look at it with me. That way, if it is leaking, we can both be upset together. See anything? I don't see anything anywhere. Maybe, just maybe I got this thing figured out. So I'm gonna give it just a few more minutes, maybe another hour. Then I'm gonna toss that sucker back in there, get all my drive shafts hooked up, bolt my exhaust back on. I don't know what, probably, not sure. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably keep working on the air ride, get it buttoned up a little bit, put the front end back together, and at least get this thing together enough to test drive it. I do need some help bleeding the brakes, but by the time I get all this other stuff done, someone else should be home to help me bleed them. Yeah, maybe we'll be driving this thing here this evening. I don't know. We'll find out. No promises. Let's go. Well, I think I got it mounted where I want it. For the most part, anyway. I put it so kind of from the driver's point of view here. I've got it right down here, so it's nice and out of the way. It's out of the way of the ignition and everything. It's not in the way of anything else. It doesn't get in the way of the dash or anything else. So I think it's just gonna kind of live right there for now. And you can see it's kind of fluctuating a little bit here and there. That's pretty cool. So it's kind of like a live data for the airbags all the time, which is awesome. That's what I wanted. So finish buttoning up these wires and start tossing this transfer case in. Alright guys, so I don't remember exactly where I left off, but as you can see, the Jeep is not in its normal spot. It is now over there getting final prep to go out the door. So, but first, let's talk a little bit about what I have left going on here. Bunch of crap. Let's see here. So, mostly bleed brakes, tighten shocks, rear axle stuff, lug nuts. The regulator can wait. Wiring the air up can wait. That can wait. A bunch of this stuff on the list can wait. As you can see, though, I still have quite a bit, and I got a pull apart list going too. But just got to button up a few things, and I will be able to take this thing on its maiden voyage out the door. It is starting to snow today, which could be a good thing, might be a bad thing. I don't know. I do have a couple things I got to do. Got to tighten up shocks, air up the tires, put the rest of the lug nuts on, and make some kind of a cap for the rear axle so it stops spitting fluid out the speed sensor. But other than that, this thing's ready to go. So I'm gonna get busy, get that stuff knocked out, and the next time you see this, we'll be rolling out that door. Can't wait for that. I gotta get busy. It's getting cold out here. Well, it is out of the shop. Snow's coming in. I'm pretty stoked. I've been waiting for this day for a while. I did try to play around with it a little bit, but I obviously have some issues I still need to work out. That's all right. It's part of it. Here it is, out of the shop. It's ready to, not ready to wheel. Close. I do have some issues still I need to work out, but for the most part, here it is. I kept saying it for a long time at the end of this video, into that video. I was gonna pull this thing out. Well, today's the day. Weather's not great. It's snowing. I am gonna have to get this thing back into the shop. Heat works in it, I did find that out, so that's a plus. But I'm still having some transfer case issues. My front axle's not wanting to spin, not sure why. So I got to get that figured out. A few other things I need to button up. A bunch of stuff I still want to do, but it is movable now, thankfully. So this thing's pretty awesome. Can't thank you guys enough for watching, subscribing to the channel and all that stuff. And if you haven't yet, feel free, helps me out a lot. Also give me one of them little thumbs ups, that helps me out a lot too. Leave a comment if you have any questions about this rig, let me know, I'll be happy to answer them. Until then, see you next time. I don't know if the next time's going to be wheeling this thing, but I do got some other stuff lined up for the Gladiator, so that may be in the future. But thanks a lot, guys.